Hello, everybody.
Hi there, I'm Kaylyn.
And I'm Dr. Cynthia,
This is Intuitive Hypnotherapy Podcast.
where we invite you to come for the chat and stay for the healing. What are we going to chat about today, Miss Lady? What's up?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm hoping I need your help. I had a fender bender yesterday. Somebody rear-ended me. And it's been 2 days of dealing with insurances and trying to fix some things. And now I'm coming down from that adrenaline rush and I'm feeling like crap. So,
Ew.
yeah.
So sorry. Do you want to share some
Yeah.
details? What had happened?
Yeah, so we just me, myself, and I.
Mhm.
I'm a little behind today. A little slow to catch up. So got up yesterday morning, got in the car, and it was a rainy day. So of course the things that are going through my head are it's raining. Take your time. Give extra distance.
Okay.
It was just a yucky gray, wet Monday, and it came up to a red light and just got smacked. I mean, I was at a complete stop. I don't know that she was going that fast, but it didn't matter. It was a hard hit. It was like what you see in those commercials. Like I had sunglasses on my head and my hair was down, and I screamed because it was a
Really?
thunk. Yeah, it was a thunk. It was kind of weird because it wasn't like a crunch or a crash or anything. I haven't been in an accident in like almost 20 years.
Wow.
And it was a hard thunk. I obviously jolted, but like my hair flew over my head
Whoa.
a little bit like as I'm sitting there,
Yeah.
kind of what just happened, because I really did what just happened. What was that noise? Like I didn't realize right away that's what it was.
Were you
But then
looking straight ahead or
I
did you see
was,
it
yeah,
coming? Okay.
I was looking straight ahead. I think it's probably better I didn't see it coming. I don't know. I was looking straight ahead, and we were in like where I was stopped at. There were 3 lanes of traffic, so I was in the rightmost lane because I was about to get on the highway.
Okay.
And the traffic to the left of us started moving.
Okay.
So not that I'm making excuses, but I can imagine all the things that were going through her head. And it was totally, it was one of those situations where poor, I feel sorry for her because I could just, she was a mom. She had her 2-year-old in the car, and she just said he started crying.
Yeah.
And she had like reached back or looked back. I don't know. Basically, he kind of started fussing and stuff. So she was trying to take care of him. And then her husband was driving next to her, and she just said she was distracted, and she just flat out said, I don't know what,
Did
so
you have anybody in your car with you?
no, thank goodness.
Okay. So
Thank goodness, because normally Laura will go with me. If I go into offices and stuff, she usually comes with me. But on Monday, Dave's off work. So luckily she was with Dave.
Yeah.
So she, like I said, I mean, the accident was her fault, but I still felt bad for her because I could just tell she was just like, oh my gosh. And then the police got there and it all went fine and dandy,
Oh, so the police did come.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her husband, which was good because I was out of it for, I think the first thing I did was when I looked back and realized what it was, I just turned my flashers on and was like an autopilot and like moved over to the shoulder because I didn't want to block traffic because there are always accidents in that area because it's a very busy intersection. People are getting on and off the highway. It's just a mess. So I turned my flashers on and like pulled off into like the widest part of the shoulder I could find. And she pulled behind me, and I sat there for probably, I mean, I don't know how long. And I'm trying to figure out how to call Dave because I couldn't figure out how to call somebody.
Wow.
It took me a minute, and I'm like,
you really got your bell rung.
yeah. And her husband, I didn't know it was her husband at the time, but somebody came and knocked on my passenger window, and I rolled down my window, and he's like, I'm sorry, are you okay? I was like, and David just picked up, and I had him on speakerphone. So I said, I'm just calling my husband. And he goes, okay. So then I finished talking to Dave, and Dave and I have this, I try to be really good about it. Luckily, there aren't many situations that I need to worry about this, but his family always had this thing, and I think it's great. it's if there's a problem or if something's gone wrong and you're
Mhm.
calling somebody,
Mhm.
the first thing you say is, I'm fine,
Mhm.
but blah, 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 blah. So
Okay.
don't start it out with, I was in an accident. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It started off with, I'm okay. Like I'm here to talk. I'm talking to you,
Right, right.
but this is what happened.
Oh,
So of course he's like, do you need me to come up? I was like, no. And once the police wrote up everything and we exchanged info, and I sat in the parking lot for a while because we had pulled into a parking lot, and I even contemplated calling Dave like to come and get me because
should have.
the car was I mean, it was drivable, but I was
Right.
just like dazed.
Sure.
So I sat there for a little bit and drove home. I probably did like 30 miles an hour all the way home, and in fear that every pothole I hit would set off an airbag. That's
Oh,
all I was thinking about. Is I was like, luckily my airbags didn't go off, but
sure.
you know, then so I'm on adrenaline at that point. I'm in shock, and then it's the headache of just dealing with insurance. So I
Right,
had
right.
stuff in the back of my car. So when we got home, first thing I wanted to do was just go lay down. So I laid down for a
Sure.
little bit, and then I told Dave, I said, there's bags of chicken food in the back of my car, chicken feed. And I said, I wonder if it exploded because the whole back of my car is like caved in,
Oh,
like the door is. So I was like, oh man, that's the last thing I need, right? Pellet food everywhere. So he said, have you tried opening it? And I was like, no. So I went back, and you have the same kind of car. It's a CRV.
Yeah.
So there's like a button that you kind of, your finger pushes the button and you
Yeah.
pull a little bit, and then the door kind of takes it from there.
Right.
I barely put my hand over that sensor, barely. And I heard it pop
Okay.
like it was going to open. And I like took 3 steps back. Dave's like, what's wrong? I said, well, I heard it pop open,
Uh-huh.
but it didn't open. He said, did you try? I was like, no, I'm afraid to. So he came out and opened it.
Uh-huh.
And good news, chicken bag food all remained intact.
Oh, points.
But the car won't latch. So now it's raining and the car won't latch. So, you know, that kind of just sort of expedited my, okay, let's call insurance. Let's get the rental car thing going. And I think today we just got the rental car about an hour or two ago. And now I'm coming down from that. I've got a headache.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
now
an
I'm coming
adrenaline
down.
letdown, 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm so sorry. So what are you doing for you, Miss?
So
Health?
I'm going to, I have such a good network of people around here. It's great.
Good.
So I know an attorney, I know a chiropractor. One of my other docs was like calling me going, you know, what can we do for you? What do we need to do?
Yeah.
And, you know, it was even one of the docs that I usually go to his office on Friday. And
Okay.
he's like, I said, oh, I still plan on being there. And he's like, why don't we wait until it's closer to Friday for you to make that decision? Because he's like, you sound tired. So yes. So now I've got to go through the steps that I tell everybody else they need to do. Go get checked out. You know, the first day or two, you've got all that adrenaline, but now I'm like, okay, car's situated. I mean, I could have drove Dave's car, but now that I've got a rental, now it's the making of doctor's appointments and just seeing what's going on. And I should hear on, you know, car repairs at some point this week. But then we start my body repairs. My physical body, not my car body. So yes, now I'm
Fair.
tired.
Well, I'm so sorry that happened. And I'm very glad that it wasn't worse.
Yes, that's what I keep telling myself.
You know, when I'm late or if somebody's late, you know, getting into the office, I always just say, it's fine, drive safe. Because you don't know in that moment when you're behind, if the guides and angels aren't looking out for you. And I was like, girl, if you'd have been on time, you know,
I absolutely think that happens. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And didn't you say you have had weren't you saying that you had a feeling that Monday was
I
just
just,
kind of a
yeah,
meh
that's,
kind
yeah,
of
it
day?
was yesterday morning. It was just rainy. It was gray. And I got up like normal time. I usually do a little bit of work on the computer before I leave. And just there was something about that day that I really was like, man, it's rainy. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not afraid to drive in the rain, but there was just something that I was like, I kind of just don't want to get out in it today. But
Yeah.
I never call off. So
Mhm.
I was just like, I'm just going to be extra careful today.
Mhm.
But yes, there was something about it. That's
Your
one of the
spidey
first things
sense
I
was
told
on.
Dave. Yeah, one of the first things I told Dave when I got home is I was like, I had a feeling about today. And, of course, then I make light of every situation. And I was like,
Mhm.
Mondays. So, yeah, that was the other thing. When the girl got out of the car that hit me, I could tell, like, she just, in the end, she's like, thank you. Because I could just imagine, like, some people get, things happen.
You
It
were very
stinks.
kind. You were very kind. You're very
Yes.
compassionate. Even recounting the
Yeah.
story, you're very compassionate.
Yeah, I
Even
told her,
though,
I said, I have a 5-year-old at home. I get it. And she's just like, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah,
think she was probably grateful that, because some people, well, you see all the videos online, the road rage, the angry. It's like you said, everything. It, yeah. If you're behind in traffic and you're
Mhm.
slowed up or you're running late, it's probably for a reason.
Yeah,
And if there's an accident, it's like that. I don't know. I think about that stuff a lot, that I'm like, gosh, if we had left a few minutes earlier, like that could have been us.
Mhm.
Or, those are the
Mhm.
kind of things I think about, that it's like, yep. I don't know. It was just heck of a Monday.
I watched a car hit another car on the highway. Shanti and I were driving down
Oof.
to she was in high school, probably a freshman in high school. We were driving down to Colorado Springs, and it wasn't particularly snowy,
Hmm.
because that's how Colorado does, right? It snows and then the snow is gone. And I wasn't in front of me. And then the car like zoomed over 3 lanes, hit somebody else. That other car flipped in
Ooh.
the air and rolled. And then we could see them, or I could see them in my rear view mirror,
Right.
and um, and then crash. And I saw the driver of the car that flipped. I saw his or her soul leave their body. And it was
Mm.
really weird. It looks like what you see on the movies, like
Yeah.
a white mist, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Mm.
but I was like, I'm not going to tell my daughter who's just about to play in a
No,
tournament
no, 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 no.
what we
Did she
just
see it? I know
witnessed.
you said it was kind of like going on behind, but did
Yeah.
she?
So we saw the accident in front of us, and then it,
Right. As you, yep.
we passed it. And at this point, if anybody's thinking, well, why didn't you stop and help?
Right.
Because there was tons of traffic
Right. Right.
on
Well, and if you're
the
on the
road.
highway, yeah,
And
you're all split.
we didn't have a cell phone at the time, I don't believe, or we would have called
Right.
911. But there was tons of traffic on
Mm.
there. And a short while later, we did see sirens going from the opposite direction.
Right.
But
Getting home.
so it could be worse. Drive safe.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Don't be even.
Yep.
Did you ever read the 4 Agreements?
No.
Oh, the 4 Agreements is so good. Ruiz,
No.
Don Miguel Ruiz, I believe, is the author, and it's the 4 Agreements. And I can always remember 3 of the 4. But it's like, be impeccable with your word is one of them. Like what you say matters. Words have impact. Always do your best. And I put an asterisk by your best, because your best is relative,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because your best today, 18 hours or
Mm-hmm.
36 hours post rear end car accident is going to be different than your best a week ago.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
so your best is relative. And again, maybe the fourth will come to me in our meditation, but the one that's pertinent in this is take nothing personally. Right? That person that cut you off in traffic did not seek you out, was not going, as soon as I see that 2014 CRV, boom, she's mine. I'm gonna let her have it. She didn't know, take nothing personally. And I think you did that intuitively.
Yeah.
The person that cuts you off in traffic, the person that's late to their appointment, the person that got your fast food order wrong. You know, you don't need to attack that, you know, minimum wage worker because you got onion rings instead of fries. You know, take nothing personally. And then there's the fourth one. So there are the 4 agreements. And and as I pre-framed, I can always remember like 3 of the 4.
Those
So
are probably
she
the
did
best
not
ones, right?
seek you out to collide.
Exactly.
It was a co-creation on some level. Well, since you're a little buggered up and a little out of your body, why don't we do a little bit of a combo approach to our thing? And because anything that has to do with our physical body or physical body, like fearing that we might die or get massively injured, that's what we call a first chakra light up. In other words, your first chakra is the part of you that's in control of you, the spirit having the human experience. The first chakra is all our body level needs, you know, our grounding, our being present in our physical form. And so anytime we're injured or in an accident, or even if somebody like pulls out in front of us and we think they're going to hit us and we get a fright, we call that a first chakra light up, because we're like, holy shit, something about my being might get injured or just got injured. And if the injury is dire enough, then the spirit will leave the body, you will die. Right. And that's the ultimate first chakra light up, because we don't incarnate with the immediate intention. Some people do, but that's a different podcast. We don't incarnate to just leave our bodies. We incarnate to work on some stuff, have a human experience, learn some shit, experience some shit. Right. And so the spirit wants to stay in the bod as long as possible to have the human experience. And so if the physical form is in jeopardy, the spirit freaks out.
Yeah.
And we call that a first chakra light up. The first chakra gets all lit up because the owner, the host, might leave the building.
Yeah.
And they do not like that. So, but that could also be attributed to why you're feeling, I mean, your bell got rung clearly, and you're going to get checked out for post-concussive syndrome, and you're going to see the neurologist and do all the things in the muggle world. But in the wizarding world, when the bod gets scared, when the spirit gets scared that the physical bod might not make it through, even if it's instantaneous, even if sometimes it takes a bit for the spirit to get fully settled back into the bod. And until we do that, we're like one step in, one step out. You'll feel a little wonky. You'll feel a little like, wah. So that's part of why we feel so stupid with a hangover, because drinking alcohol to excess takes us out of our bodies. Maybe not fully out of our body, but, you know, like hovering above.
Yeah.
That's why people do dumb shit when they're drunk.
Right. Yeah, I was about to say,
Because
some people
they're
are
up and
totally
out
of their
for a
body.
spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know, somebody that lacks the same integrity that the owner of the bod does will sometimes pop in and, do sillier or
Right.
mischievous stuff,
Like
but
that
as
was
we
my way to
say,
put
the
it.
owner of the body still gets the karma.
Mhm.
So let's do some first chakra light up, some body level healing stuff.
Yeah.
So this is going to be more in the meditation zone, less hypnosis for our listeners. And for our listeners, this is the time to find a comfortable chair. Don't drive during this. Please don't drive during this part. We've learned anything from this conversation. Please don't drive and meditate. Please don't drive and levitate. Sorry, just a little wordplay. Find a comfy chair, someplace to lay down. We're going to work on body level healing. So if there's anything that you have that is going on in your own physical body, if you have an illness or an injury or you're infirm in any way on a physical level, it doesn't have to be anything great. It can be eczema, it can be hay fever, it can be plantar's warts, it can be a hangnail, or it can be something more serious. Anything can have a healing. So pick your illness or injury or infirmity. Let's say hello to it and let's start healing it. So get in your chair, feet flat on the ground, and take a couple of deep breaths. Just get here. And take a moment and just say hello to your physical body. Say, hello, body. Hello. You can pat yourself, pat your legs. Just get in your physical body. And you can even thank your physical body. Perhaps if we loved up on our physical form a little bit more and judged less and was harsh less, maybe less abusive to our physical form, maybe we'd all be a little happier. So just thank your body. Thank you, body. Because without it, we couldn't have this chat. You couldn't have your life experience. You couldn't make choices. You couldn't begin this healing process. So bodies are important. We are human beings. It's important to be. So take a few more deep breaths. Loving your physical form, thanking your physical form, maybe even admiring your physical form. Think of some of the stuff that you've put your bod through, and it's still around. Just from a personal note, I'm going to do an extra shout out to those who have given birth. That is a unique feature of a female bod, somebody with a uterus. And to anyone that's done that, that's a lot of work. So thank your bod for incubating a life. That's pretty darn cool. And as you're sitting here just thanking and appreciate your physical body, take a little inventory. See how you're feeling in your physical body. Notice anything that's popping up for you. You might have some discomfort, but you also might notice some relief, some peace, some relaxation. Being able to go, oh, my owner loves me. Thank you. And know that if you check out, if you go all the way out, that's fine. Your subconscious mind will still hear everything that I'm saying, will still process the meditation. And these meditations you can listen to as often as you like. So when you're ready, put your attention behind your eyes and in between your temples. We call this the center of head space. So be in the center of your head as a point of light. And look around the center of your head. It might look like a room. It might look like the command center of the Starship Enterprise. It's as if you're looking at the world from behind your eyes. And in your command center, in the center of your head, see if anybody's in there with you. And if you see anybody or any pairs of eyes blinking back at you, go ahead and kick them out. Center of your head is for you and you alone. And from the center of your head, drop a grounding cord. Create an energetic connection from the base of your spine all the way down to the center of the earth. Allow that tube of light to be at least as wide as you are. As wide as your hips, as wide as your chair. And have that tube of light be any color but white or black. And you can play around with colors. Find something that feels good on your physical body today. And have that grounding cord go all the way down to the center of the earth. And have it ground into the center of the earth. Let's imagine that the center of the earth looks like a lawn or a meadow. And see that tube of light ground into that dirt, ground into that soil. Really tether you in there. And pretty quickly after you ground, your body should start feeling better. The grounding cord is a natural tether. It helps keep us grounded. We can do a muscle test. You can stand before me and I could poke you with 2 fingers. And ungrounded, you would wobble. But if I invite you to drop a grounding cord, I poke you with 2 fingers, you'd be firm and steady. It's a great tool to use in yoga class, especially if you're working on balance. And whatever day it is there for you, whatever day you are listening to this, put your grounding cord, stamp it with today's date, month, year, and day. That helps bring you into present time. Present time is the concept of being in the moment, being in the here and now. We can learn things from the past. We can go back and heal things from the past. We operate best if we do it from the present moment. We can project into our future. We can mock up for our next step. Again, we do it best in the present moment. So date stamp your grounding cord, today's date. And then the next step, see your aura bubble, your energy field, your personal space. See it around you in all directions. 3 feet in front of you, 3 feet to either side, 3 feet over your head, 3 feet behind you, and 3 feet underneath you and connecting into your grounding cord. And notice now that you're in the center of your head, grounded in your bubble, notice how you feel in your physical body. Many of you will feel more relaxed, more content, safer. There's a peacefulness about using our tools. So be in the center of your head, grounded in your bubble. And just feel what you feel for a few breaths. Now, in the center of your head, grounded in your bubble, draw your attention to any place in your physical body where you feel discomfort or you might feel unwell. And it doesn't matter where it is, just bring your attention there, but stay in the center of your head. See that part of your body, but don't go to it. And wherever that is uncomfortable or is experiencing illness, see what color it is. First impression. Turn your analyzer off. For example, if your grounding cord, your bubble was blue, and you look at your hand where you have some discomfort and it's electric red, just look at that electric red. So wherever you feel discomfort in your body, give it a color. Just allow it to be a bubble or a sphere or some floating energy. Again, don't overthink it. And whatever color you see in that area, draw it out and let it flow down the grounding cord. It might move like liquid. It might move like rocks. It might move like energy. Whatever makes sense in your universe. Find the discomfort, give it a color, throw it down your grounding cord. Find the discomfort, give it a color, throw it down your grounding cord. And continue this exercise for a few breaths. And you might notice a change in the sensation of that area. It might feel lighter. It might tingle. It might feel warm. It might feel light. For a few, it might actually be a little bit more uncomfortable. That's okay. That means you are making change. So continue to allow that energy, that other color, to flow down your grounding cord. And whatever it is, gets recycled into neutral. And when that's done, take a look again from the center of your head of any place in your body that you might have discomfort. You might have illness. It can be the same place. It can be someplace different. Whatever makes sense for you. And then give it a color. Might be the same color you saw for the other area, might be different, might be brighter or darker. Again, you cannot do this wrong. And whatever color you see, go ahead and send it down your grounding cord. Same rules apply. Just let it go. Send it away. Don't overthink. Just know that you're giving your body a healing and you're moving foreign energy. Any energy that causes you discomfort or illness or injury is by definition foreign. It's not you. And in the next moment, in your mind's eye, from the center of your head, create a rose. And let that rose be gold. Gold has the highest vibration of the colors. And take this rose like a paintbrush and wave it over the area or areas that you just healed, that you just moved the energy out of. So say it's a shoulder, the center of your head. Wave that gold rose over that area with the intention that it's giving that center, that area, that body part, a healing. And once again, turn your analyzer off and just play. It's okay to color outside the lines. You're going to use that gold rose like a healing paintbrush and paint the area that's uncomfortable. Bring gold to that area. Bring healing to that area. Or areas. And notice how you feel. Giving that sight all this attention. Thanking your body. Being grateful for these tools. And in the next moment, go ahead and take that gold rose and you can throw it down your grounding cord. We're done with it for now. And in the base of your spine is your first chakra. Your first chakra is in control of everything going on with your physical body. And your first chakra spins like a gyroscope. So it spins in all the directions, front to back, side to side, and at an angle, like a gyroscope. And when you look at your first chakra, intend that it's a ball or a sphere. And imagine that it's maybe the size of a softball. And see that softball at the base of your spine from the center of your head. And then start to see that chakra looks like a softball. See it start to spin forward and back, side to side at an angle, all at once, like a gyroscope. And you can play with the speed of the spin. You can make it go a little bit slower. You can make it go faster. But as you see your first chakra spinning, you're giving it a healing. You're allowing it to cast off any energies that are not you, any energies that do not equate to perfect, radiant health, perfect contentment in your physical body. So just let it spin. Let it spin. Let yourself be grounded. Saying hello to the first chakra. Saying hello to your physical form. Thanking all the people, the pieces that help you every day. And allow that chakra to spin. And with every minute that you're spinning, it's like turning back the clock. You are healing your physical form. You are casting off energies that no longer serve you. And let it be easy. Let it be as simple as setting your intention. And then take that energy, that healed first chakra, and let it bubble up through all the rest of your chakras, your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, even down to your hand and feet chakras. Give all of your energy centers a healing. And then when you're ready, take a big deep breath. Open your eyes. You might stretch in your chair. Come back to the room, thanking your physical body, thanking your five senses, thanking your friends and family, thanking the universe for this body so that you can have this human experience. Hello, Miss Kaylyn. Wakey, wakey. How are you?
Good.
Do you feel a little more in your body?
I do. Did you hear everything fall out of my lap at the very end there? I was like,
No.
just forgot. I did. Okay, good. I was so relaxed. Yeah.
Good.
Yep. I started stretching and then I remembered, oh yeah, there's stuff sitting in my lap.
Well, I'm glad that we did this today. And of course, if something like that happens, feel free to call or text anytime,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I thought about texting you yesterday, but like I said, between everything happening and then just trying to start the process of, all the stuff that comes next.
All the things. Yeah.
Yeah, all of the things. That's
All of the
perfect. But
things. It's
this
your
was
new
good.
part-time job. Oh,
Yeah.
before we get done, I'd like to thank all our subscribers.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank all of our listeners. Appreciate you very much. Appreciate you liking, subscribing, telling your friends. Again, intuitive.hypno.doc at gmail.com if you have some ideas, suggestions, wish list for sessions that we're happy to do for you. Yes, all over the planet, people are
I
dialing in. That's
know. I've
very
seen a
cool.
lot of Philippines lately. I've looked at that
Yes.
number's like it's pretty cool. So
That's
yes,
very, very
thank
cool.
you. And yeah, send us your ideas.
Yes.
To talk about.
And if I was really cool, I would learn to say hello in your language and gracias. So
One day.
one day, clear off some of the things on my to-do list. But anyway, thank you so much for everyone. Thank you, Kaylyn. You are a joy and a pleasure, my dear friend. This is really cool that we get to share this time.
Yes, I appreciate it, everybody. Again, I'm Kaylyn.
And I'm Dr. Cynthia.
And this is Intuitive Hypnotherapy Podcast,
where we have invited you to come for the chat and stay for the healing. Have a good day, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.